Hello, hello, my friends. Oh my goodness, it is an amazing day and it's a beautiful week so far and it just keeps going by. I'm gonna put you in my little holder. I should have done that before I started. So, my caption today said, you get what you focus on. So focus on what you want. And this was a big discussion this morning with my study group, with my clients. And, I just brought up that we want to really make sure that what we're thinking about is what we want, not to give anything any more energy. Right? If it's not what you want, then don't even speak about it. Don't talk about it. Don't think about it. Because, when we voice something, it gives it energy. It gives it power. And so, lots of times we may, be telling a story. And it may be a story that has, it's something in the past or it's something in the future, but if it doesn't bring about everything that you want, then don't even bother telling that story, right? Because you're sending it out to the universe, you're sending it out to God, you're asking for validation from the people that are around you for that thing, right? And this is something that I am more aware of. And then I was having a conversation yesterday, and then this morning when I was thinking about that conversation, I was like, oh, dude, I was totally talking about, maybe something that isn't what I really want in the future. And I was like, oh, okay, I totally just gave that power, and we're gonna shift that today. And I'm gonna only focus on what I want, right? And that's why I want to bring some awareness and clarity to your goals, right? Because where we choose to go and what we choose to focus on is what we're going to create, right? And so sometimes we get so caught up in what's going on with us right now that it's hard to see outside of this current reality. And, whether it's the bank account or it's how your business is growing or not growing, or, how things are going at work, whatever that is. But, sometimes it's hard to see outside of that. Well, your reality today is a direct reflection of what you were thinking yesterday or what you were thinking last week, right? Last month. And so if we want something to change, then we have to change how we're looking at things, how we're seeing things, right? What we're focused on. Because if we're focused on, how things aren't going the way that we want, then that's the way that it's continued, because you're not going to see what else is possible. You're not going to see the opportunities or, the people that you're meant to be talking to create what it is that you want. Does that make sense? So in order to create that life that we love living, then stop thinking of the one that you don't. And it sounds really simple, and really it is. It's really simple. But then comes into play all of those paradigms, right? Those habits, those habitual way of thinking that we aren't even consciously aware of, that just play on autopilot, right? They just rise up, and before you even know it, you're in this loop of maybe not awesome thought processes. And you're like, okay, when you become aware of it, you're like, okay, wait, that's not what I want. So now I'm choosing to think this, right? And then you change that thought onto this new goal or this new direction, or on whatever that thing is that you want instead, right? And so you put your attention on that. And then until you get really good at this, later you're going to possibly rotate right back into this old negative loop, right? And then, but what we're doing is you're growing in your awareness, right? You're becoming more aware of these natural thought processes, this programming that you have. And then when you find yourself in this space again, you're like, no, that's not what I want. I don't want to continue to create or repeat this. I'm going to think about this, right? And so this is where it's so important, you guys, to know what you want, to know what your goals are, right? Because if you go out into a field and you're gonna, do some target practice with some bow and arrows, you gotta have a target. You have to have something that you're aiming for, right? Otherwise you're just shooting for nothing, right? Like there's no point in doing what you're doing unless you have a target to aim for. And so it's really, really important to have that clarity. And so if you don't have that clear vision of what it is that you want or where it is that you're going, connect with me. Send me a quick DM, pop it in the comments, say, I would love some clarity. Because, and we can have a 100% free conversation to help you find that clarity and get that direction for where you're going. Because, like so many people say affirmations all the time. They, do this personal work, but they don't have the clarity. Like, we all say, yes, I would love more money, right? But you don't say, I would love $100,000, right? Like more money could be 10 cents. So you need to be really specific about what it is that you want, and then be really clear and focused on only talking about what that thing is that you want, right? Because when I started thinking about, the conversation I had yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, there was a lot of limiting beliefs that were showing up in that conversation. And, and that just, and I got in that negative thought pattern, and I was like, oh, no, that's not what I'm affirming today. Right. And so, it's all about learning and growing and stepping into that higher space and claiming it, right? Because whenever we think something, whenever we speak something, we are claiming it. And so I just want to bring around the awareness, like, what are you claiming today? Right? Are we claiming that we don't have enough money for this? Are we claiming that we're not able to do this? Let's get some clarity on what do I want, right? Because we get to create, we get to decide what our life looks like. And we also get to decide what we're claiming. Am I claiming these limiting beliefs, or am I claiming that, this is what I'm creating? So, our words and our thoughts have so much power. And when we're using them to our benefit, it's so powerful. And we all are on this amazing journey, and it's all about awareness, right? Because those habits, those habitual way of thinking, the habitual way of being, they just run on autopilot. You don't even consciously think those things, but they determine your energy, your frequency, what you put out and what you're receiving. And so if you're not loving what you're receiving, then let's become really aware of the thoughts that you're thinking, and then let's shift those. So if you would love to have more clarity on what it is that you're creating and you're stepping into and what you're claiming, then, send me a DM, put a comment in the box, and let's have a chat, because I can help you work through and clear the fog to figure out what it is that you want. And when you decide that, there is so much power. Then you have a direction to go, and then you can come into alignment with all the people, all the opportunities, all the things that need to happen, that need to align for that to happen. But until you get clear on what it is that you want, then it's like shooting darts or shooting your bow and arrow just in any direction and just hoping that you hit something, right? But if we have that, if we narrow the view and get that clear vision of what we would love to be creating and what we would love to be living, you can create anything, right? And then we can work on, recognizing those thought patterns and are they affirming what I am creating, or are they continuing to, affirm and create what I don't want anymore, right? And we can learn to change those. So, if this has been helpful or eye-opening for you, I would love to hear it. And, what is something that you are claiming today? Put it in the comments. What are you claiming today? And once we write something down and we say, I'm claiming this and I am focusing on this, it changes everything. All right. Sending you guys so much love and light today, and expect abundance, and be very, very mindful of what your focus is on, what you're thinking and speaking, because they have tremendous power and they create the life that we live. All right. Have an amazing day, my friends. Talk to you soon.